Hi everyone, you're with Tesla Tom and thank you for joining us on Ludicrous Feed. In this video, I'm going to reveal details of a new Tesla store and supercharging station in Sydney to be located in Alexandria on the southern side of the city. But before we get into it, I should also let you know about an email which landed in my inbox this morning outlining details of the Model 3 in Australia. Needless to say, this got me very excited. Make sure you stick around until the end of this video to hear more about this email. If you found us for the very first time, then hello and welcome. Be sure to click on the subscribe button to stay up to date with our latest videos. Okay, I first heard about this new Tesla store opening in Sydney from the Tesla Owners Club of Australia Facebook page, and then subsequently from drivezero.com.au, which sourced the information from that Facebook page. Development plans of the store were made publicly available at the time. The new store will be located at 118 Bourke Road, Alexandria, in the inner south of the city. There's already a storefront and adjoining warehouse on this site, which Tesla will refurbish for its own purposes. I've noticed Tesla are very good at doing that. The one and only Tesla store in Sydney at St. Leonard's was previously also a car dealership, most recently occupied by Skoda before Tesla took over. In fact, the mothership at Fremont, California was actually owned as a joint venture between General Motors and Toyota, before Tesla snapped it up during the last global financial crisis. So that's the frontage of the new Tesla site at 118 Bourke Road, Alexandria. I came to film this on the Sunday, so it was fairly quiet and there was no one else around at the site. But I can assure you that this part of Alexandria is actually quite a busy area during business hours, and it's normally teeming with both cars and pedestrians, being an industrial area. There was a little restaurant adjacent to the northern end of the site which seemed quite busy on a Sunday. Something worth checking out, I guess, if you need to supercharge your car here one day. Okay, so just take note of that security checkpoint next to my car to the right of the shot. That's quite important, and I will be making references to this throughout the video. Currently, more than half of the site is gated and wasn't accessible at the time of filming. To the right of the gate, there was a Tesla signboard, which I will go through a bit later on. Here are a few more shots I managed to get through the secure gate. You can clearly see the word service on top of the warehouse doors, obviously designed one day to service Model S, Model X, and Model 3 cars. Clearly, I'm a massive Tesla fanboy, and I love that deco font that they've used there. So good. Here's another shot of the rest of the secure compound, which then led me to think, where will they put the superchargers? They surely can't put it behind the gate, otherwise it wouldn't be easily accessible, especially after hours when there aren't any security personnel on site to let drivers in. Like for example, I came here on a Sunday and there were no guards in that little security booth. So let's go back to that Tesla signboard I showed you earlier. So you can see that service is straight ahead, makes sense, as that's where the warehouse is. Delivery is also straight ahead, behind the gate, fair enough. Customer parking points to the left. I guess that's the parking spots to the left behind the gate that I showed you earlier. If there is security personnel during the store opening hours, then I guess it's not a problem because then customers can be let in through the gates during business hours when everything else is open. Then we get to the last sign which says vehicle charging. Now I can only assume they mean supercharging, and at the moment it's an open circle with no discernible arrow. At present on site there are no obvious signs of the famous Tesla Superchargers, so to make an educated guess where these will be located, we need to go back to the development plans. The first one I want to show you is the plan for the frontage. It looks like they've pretty much got that down pat. The big iconic red Tesla signage is definitely present, along with the words Tesla along the top of the building front as seen in the plans. The next plan refers to the actual building interior, where you can see how the inside will look, separated into the different working areas into technical, administrative, and customer service. Fairly standard there. Now the last plan I want to show you is where they have designated for these superchargers. You'll notice the words in the plan say 6 parks for 24-hour electric vehicle charging. Now if they're 24 hours, they can only be placed in one area, the 6 spots in front of the security gate, so that outside of business hours, like at the time of filming, they can be readily accessible for Tesla drivers. I can confirm that by this next image where I've circled the correlating set of steps in the plan on the right of screen, as well as on the GoPro image from my car's dashboard on the left of screen while it was parked. There's my car on the right of screen in one of those 6 spots which I think will be used for supercharging one day, and there's a close-up. I can assure you there were definitely 6 spots there opposite the main building outside of the secured gate compound. Oh, and just as I was leaving, this random truck pulled up and the driver politely asked me what I was up to. I then also politely told him I was taking pictures of the new Tesla store for my YouTube channel. He seemed happy with the response. He mentioned something about working for Channel 7 located at the back of the gated compound or something to that effect. I reassured him that I was not up to anything nefarious. He then drove into the compound. Anyway, there you are guys, a little sneak peek into the new Tesla store and supercharging station in Alexandria in the inner south of Sydney. something that is sorely needed in our city to take the pressure off St Leonard's and Broadway, particularly with the thousands of Model 3s hitting our Australian shores in the next 12 to 18 months. Speaking of Model 3, well, here is the email that hit my inbox this morning, which made my heart beat just that little bit quicker. Let me read this to you. Meet Model 3 at Tesla Martin Place? What? Join us at Tesla Martin Place for an exclusive look at Model 3. During the event, you and one guest will have the exclusive opportunity to view Model 3 on display, explore Model S and Model X, and learn about our mission to accelerate the world's transition to sustainable energy. Please consider the following before you RSVP. This is an invite-only event for Model S and Model X owners. Owners are permitted to bring one guest only. If you're not an owner or the guest of an owner, you will not be permitted entry to the event. Of course, I immediately RSVP'd and cleared my schedule. That was just a no-brainer. And apologies as I've had to redact the date and time as it was an invite-only event and I don't want to get into trouble with Tesla. I can barely contain my excitement, and don't fear my YouTube friends, I will of course make a video documenting that event and will post it right here on Ludicrous Feed as soon as humanly possible straight afterwards so you don't miss out. Alright guys, hope you've enjoyed that video, hope it's a lovely day wherever you are in this world, and as always, happy charging. Thanks for watching, and thanks for being part of the energy revolution. If you haven't done so already, be sure to hit subscribe to keep up to date with our latest videos. If you're about to buy a Tesla, use our promo code on screen to score free unlimited supercharging. Happy charging!